Thank you. Have a seat.
All right, Judge. Jarlib Hagens. Judge, Mr. Hagens wasn't on the working list that I was using. I'm going to need to continue him. I need to get him into the office.
December 30th. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Hagan, call it, make that appointment, okay? All right. Destiny Hurley. Judge, this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Ms. Hurley, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so happy God.
Sir.
The State of Florida versus Destiny Rachel Hurley, 24 CF 1658. You want to enter a no contest plea to witness tampering, a third-degree felony, and domestic violence battery, a first-degree misdemeanor, correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams has done for you on your case?
Very.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Count one, your judge adjudication is withheld. Sentenced to 18 months probation. Substance evaluation treatment if recommended. Anger management evaluation treatment if recommended. Mental health evaluation treatment if recommended. 967 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $50 PD app fee, $100 PD case resolution fee. On count two, adjudication withheld, 1 year probation concurrent, no violent contact with victim. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Okay. You're going to...
Yes.
So he won't need to... Steve, do you need, it was a withheld, do you need her? Okay.
Okay.
Judge, just moving through the list here. Angela Herber. Judge, this was a PTI failout. I think she's done everything now. I talked with Ms. Clow, who's involved in the other part of it, and she was satisfied, but I think we need to get all that information to the state to get the dismissal on it. So can we pass this for a little, probably be easier, just go ahead and continue it, and then if it checks out, the prosecutor can just enter the dismissal at that point.
How about November 4th?
That's fine for me, Judge.
Okay.
Is that enough time, you think, for you?
I'll give it my best shot. Let's leave it on for
All
the
right.
4th.
All right. Ms. Horber, plan on being back on the 4th. We're going to try to go ahead and get it shown as you completing the PTI, okay?
Okay, is that going to be at 9 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am. That'll be at 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Jason Howell. Judge, I think ultimately this case is just going to have to go to trial. There have been offers and counteroffer, or, well, offers made by the state. I've talked with the defense about it. we can go ahead and set him on this trial docket. It looks like one of my bigger cases is now been continued. I still have another one.
Set it for November 4th.
Thank you, Judge.
And, I mean, this looks rather straightforward kind of a case.
It
So,
is, well, there's going to be a legal issue involved and a defense involved regarding possession of that firearm.
all right,
I have
well,
some case law lined up for the court.
see what you can do, but November 4th.
Yes, sir. All right, need to be back on the 4th.
Yes, sir.
Michael Aaron Hudson. Judge, well, I may have already handled this one. It looks like I did. Destiny Hurley, we just handled. Javers Johnson. Oh, wait a minute, I've already continued that one. Tristan Johnson. Judge, this is going to be a plea.
Mr. Johnson, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so help you God. Thanks.
All right. Judge, is going to be plea to one count of failure of sex offender to report internet identifiers. That's a third-degree felony. And one count of failure of sex offender to update employment information. That's also a third-degree felony. Those are as lesser included offenses. All right, let me get your signature right there. Right here. I've previously met with the defendant, and I've given him a copy of the offer. Mind if I date this for you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Judge, the state hasn't filed an amended information putting these two counts on. We're stipulating those are lesser offenses on these. Otherwise, the state would have to file an amended information, add those counts, dismiss the other counts. Does the court understand what I'm saying? Right, Judge. He was originally charged with, I guess, a total of 7 counts of failure to report. And that actually may be the same statute number as the failure to report. So I guess we're dismissing all but 1 count of that. And then on 8 and 9, that failure to report, I think, did deal with just the employment information. So it's actually, I'm going to say count 1 and count 8 would probably be the better way to phrase it.
Mr. Johnson, you want to enter a no contest plea to count 1, failure to report internet identifiers, a third-degree felony, and count 8, failure to update employment information, a third-degree felony.
Yes, sir.
And you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds he pleads freely and voluntarily in. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty on both counts. 6 months community control, concurrent. GPS monitor, standard court costs, abide by all criminal statutes and registration requirements. Waive cost of supervision. And that reporting thing is very complicated. Get that figured out. If you have a question, ask your probation or sheriff's office so you don't make a mistake again, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's very strict, okay?
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is there,
GPS at $1 a day.
yeah, is there any score sheet with this?
Yes, sir, and the state stipulates to the basis for a downward departure in that.
All right.
I'm printing this for you right now, Judge.
And based on the fact
And you're
he's
announcing an
on
hourly
6 months, if he's only on for 6 months, we're requesting that the monies go ahead and be sent to collection at termination instead of having to come back,
All right.
if there are any.
Yeah, any monies that are still due are sent to collections upon termination.
And Judge, my understanding is the state's unannounced and all pros on the other counts.
All right.
That's correct.
Judge, next one I have, Judge, is Jeff Allen Ledoux. Judge, Mr. Ledoux's got a new case that's set on October 31st for arraignment. He does not have an attorney on that case as yet. If we can just pass this and hear it with that case, what happens on that case will help me figure out what I'm doing on this one.
Does he need to have poet, has he been arraigned on this new case?
Judge, I haven't even checked to see if an information's been filed on it. I just know when I was going through things, getting ready for today, I noted that there was a case on the 1031 docket.
All right, we'll pass him to December 30th, and maybe you can get everything worked out together.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can we bring this one in just, or have it available on the computer just in case we get everything worked out? All right, so we're going to put you on, I'm going to see you again on the 31st. I'll explain everything to you in more detail.
So
then,
Thursday.
Okay? Yeah, Thursday. All right. Robert Bobby Michael McDonald. Judge, I think you've got him on the docket as being in jail. He has bonded out.
Okay?
Judge, he's got two cases. I've got 24 CF 2033 as a battery on Rebecca Fuller. She's been trying to get the charges dismissed. He had filed when he was pro se a speedy trial demand on that, so I'm not going to move to continue that one. We can leave that one on the docket. He's got another case coming in. I'm going to suggest that we leave that one on for the 4th, but I'm not going to be trying it this time. If I have to try one, I'll try the 2033 that he'd filed the speedy trial when he was pro se.
So you think that the victim has filed a drop charge
She
statement?
has, Judge. She's been bugging our office. She was here
Well,
earlier
see if you can
today.
get that worked out with the state so we don't waste jurors coming down here for nothing. Okay? So we'll see you,
I would agree, Judge.
what, November 4th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, see you on the 4th. Next one that I have, Judge, that's not incarcerated is Larry Jack Miller. Judge, I'm also going to appear for Charles Russell. He's got Mr. Miller on an older case. I'm going to move to continue both cases, is my understanding.
December 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. 12:30, okay? Christopher Murray. Judge, this is another one that's going to be a negotiated plea. Prosecutor, I think you've still got the offer on this one. I think do you?
All right, Mr. Murray, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his course true, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, we renegotiated it for withheld. That's why you got gray marks on the agreement.
All right, this is State of Florida versus Christopher Murray, 24 CF 1723. Mr. Murray, you want to enter a no contest plea, the charge of introduction of contraband, a third-degree felony, and possession of cocaine, a third-degree felony, correct? And you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams has done for you on your case? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. The court accepts it. Adjudication withheld on both cases, both counts. Sentenced to 12 months drug offender probation with curfew, which can be adjusted. What is the curfew hours?
It'd be 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is generally how it starts, but probation is allowed to adjust it to accommodate his work schedule if it changes.
All right, probation can adjust it. It's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. 6:15 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, $150 PD fee.
Thank you, Judge.
Adjudication withheld on both counts. Waive cost supervision.
Judge, I'm showing that as my last. I'm sorry, Mr. McDonald? 1950 case. Well, we're going to leave the 1950 case will be called in on that day also. Okay, it's just we won't be picking. Excuse me? Yeah, no. We cover both of those. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Mr. Murphy? Judge, we're working out a pretrial intervention on this. When did you want to set this on? This is the Maserati case.
My understanding is that restitution can be paid in full, or at least a cashier's check could be made out that will be payable before November 4th.
That's correct. That's my understanding.
So I want to get with the victim and ask them if they would come to court November 4th. I don't know if they're available to, but I would rather facilitate that. That it would be basically a pay and dismiss, so it wouldn't have to do pretrial intervention if that payment can be verified in full.
Well, why don't we set it for like November 7th?
Okay, that's fine.
November 7th still okay for you, ma'am? Yes. Okay. November 7th then, be back in court on that day. The 4th is just getting a little full. And then I believe that's all that I have that are, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting Mr. Moore bonded out. Jeffrey Moore. Talk to him earlier today as well and have him in the right bucket. Judge, one of the charges against him has been dismissed. I thought perhaps we were going to be in a posture to get it resolved today. My understanding, though, is that at this point, we want to leave it on. Is that correct? Let, yeah.
November 4th.
All right, thank you, Judge. All right, anybody else?
Mr. Gibbs.
First, Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. William Flanagan. Mr. Flanagan is present and approaching, Judge.
Your Honor, if I can be excused for a few minutes, I need to.
Yeah, sure.
Come on up, Mr. Flanagan. Your Honor, this is 23 CF 2730. If the court may remember, we had modified Mr. Flanagan's bond so that he could bond out. He should be going to a memory care facility soon, following a report that we got that he was not competent to proceed. So we'll just ask to continue him so he can get into there.
And December 30th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right. So your next court date
Thank
here
you,
is
sir.
December 30th, okay?
Okay.
December 30th,
That's your next court date here, yes, sir.
right here, December 30th.
Yes, sir. All right,
Would you
you're good
put
to
that down for me, sir? Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Next, Your Honor, I have Ms. Tricia Gatewood. Your Honor, Ms. Gatewood is present and approaching. This is 23 CF 1533.
All right.
Judge, we're close to getting this one resolved. If we can, let's put this on Monday for docket day, plea or continue.
Well, that's November 4th.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
So, okay. Next out of custody, Judge, I have Mr. Gregory Carroll. He was just here, Judge. I'll recall him later. Otherwise, out of custody, I have Ms. Courtney Ard. What they're doing. Like to do to start today? Sign right there for me. I think you can make it work. I don't know. Let's see about that. All right. If I can approach, Judge.
Ms. Ard, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for his court's true, so help you God? This is State of Florida versus Courtney Ard, 23 CF 862, 23 CF 863. The state's agreed to dismiss charges in 23 CF 863, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to enter a no contest plea to is it just 2 counts of petty theft
That's correct, Your Honor.
as lesser included offenses of count 1 and 2?
I think of Probably 2 and 3, Judge.
2 and 3? Okay. And what about the other counts?
Otherwise, I would recommend saying that it's just an amended information to represent 2 counts of petty theft.
Either that, Your Honor, or the state dismisses the rest of the counts.
Just dismiss them, that'd
Yeah.
be easier.
Thank you, Judge.
And so you want to enter a no contest plea to 2 counts of petty theft as lesser included offenses in 23 CF 862, correct? And you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here
No, sir.
today? Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs did for you on your case?
Generally so, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentences you to adjudicate guilty on both counts. Sentenced to 11 months, 29 days probation on each count, consecutive for a total of approximately 2 years probation. $50 cost of prosecution, $220 court cost, $100 PD fee, restitution. Court reserves jurisdiction as the amount for 90 days, no contact with Jordan Ramos, no trespass at Walmart or Dollar General, and take the anti-theft class.
Thank you, Judge. Fingerprints, and then you'll be good to go.
Supervision fees waived, Your Honor?
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. And Mr. Carroll, that's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
Devontae Wiley, 24 CF 946. Wiley is present and approaching. And speaking with him, we're going to request a continuance to December 30th.
No objection.
All right, December 30th. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, another one that is out in the audience that I didn't have on my docket was Christian Weefer, 24 CF 2056. And, Your Honor, we haven't had an opportunity to meet and go over his case yet, so I'm going to request a continuance to the December 30th docket.
He's already set on
And December 30th. Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Anyone out there in the audience that has a case represented by the public defender? Anyone, any of y'all have a case you're not represented by anybody? Okay.
You're all here to see an inmate? Raise your hand if that's not the case. Okay. Tim, you want to line them?
I'm ready for my inmates if you are.
Okay.
Just go straight down.
First one's going to be Nicholas Adkins.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Nicholas Adkins. Judge, this is 24 CF 1457. Your Honor, Mr. Adkins has already previously been found not competent to proceed in 23 CF 373, 23 CF 531 on conditional release. He has a new misdemeanor case, Judge, that he's been arrested on and I believe revoked his bond here. Because he's been found not competent to proceed and he has a new charge, the court has one of 2 options. It can either release him with conditional release conditions, reasonable conditions, or it can commit him. We'd, of course, request that he be placed back on conditional release. His mother is in the audience today, Judge. He has not been getting medications that he needs for his mental health concerns in the jail. He does have a diagnosis that requires psychotropic medication that he needs to be on for his daily functioning.
What does the state say?
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I understand, has there been a finding of incompetency by this court?
Yes, in 23 CF 373 and 531, he was adjudicated not competent. That was sometime earlier this year, I believe. It took us quite a while to actually get that done.
This is Nicholas Adkins?
Yes.
Judge, I'd have to familiarize myself with that report and that expert's recommendation for competency. I'm not certain what Mr. Gibbs is asking. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing by the state.
Yeah. Because he's already on conditional release, he may not have been adjudicated not competent in this case, 24 CF 1457, but he has already been adjudicated. This was back in March 12th of this year. He was adjudicated not competent to proceed in 23 CF 373, 23 CF 531, and placed on conditional release.
Conditional release with a bond or something, or?
Conditional release is part of the statutes for competency restoration for a person that doesn't meet criteria to be committed.
I think he always showed up for court, didn't he?
He
if
did.
I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was always seemed to be very respectful, showed up. I think I'm gonna let him go back on conditional release.
Okay. The judge, the only other things I think that's holding him in the jail, he's got a $500 cash professional bond on the misdemeanor. We just asked to reinstate his bond on this case for that conditional release.
All right.
I can send an order.
All right. Yes.
Judge, if you're inclined to release Mr. Adkins, the state would ask that conditions of bond include that he not be in care of any animals and that any animal services be allowed to do routine inspections on demand at any place he's living so they can check on that.
All right.
I don't think
That's
I
fine.
don't have an objection to that.
Put that in order.
All right, thank you, Judge. I'll send an order.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would need a control date. Do we want to leave him on pretrial or docket day? Or?
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Stay away from those animals now.
Yes, we got yes, Mr. Judge. Have a good night. Thank you. Mr. Allen.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of James Allen, Judge. This is 23 CF 2644, 24 CF 373, 374, 375, and 24 CF 1668. Judge, if we could just leave this for a plea or continue on docket day 11-4.
November 4th. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to get all that wrapped up.
Arnett.
Tim, did Mr. Adkins get a next court date though?
December 30th.
He did.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Christopher Arnett, Judge. This is 24 CF 977, 24 CF 1243. Judge, I'd also like to leave him on docket date 11-4. He has a Holmes County hold, but I spoke to the prosecutor there who's okay with drug court, so we'll see if we can incorporate that here.
November 4th. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Gibbs, just to clarify, I understood that the drug court issue program was here, not over there, and that they were gonna do concurrent with us, but I'm not agreeing to that here.
I thought we were going to.
The drug court? No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Still figure it out in the meantime. Who? Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Jack Barr. Judge, this is 23 CF 1016, 22 CF 1851. Judge, Mr. Barr is going to request one more continuance to 12:30.
State objects, Your Honor. State is ready for trial, and I would like to ask for trial to be conducted the week of the 12th. It's been continued several times. There is no outstanding discovery that I know of. We're ready.
All right, November 4th.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, November 4th?
November 4th.
Very well, thank you, Judge.
And I will leave the 10-year DOC offer open until the 4th.
Okay.
Mr. Brooks. Now, please, sir.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Dennis Brooks. This is 24th CF 1374, 23 CF 1000. So. Judge, we'll ask to set this for docket day 11-4 for plea or continue.
All right, November 4th.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kane. Come on out, please, sir. That left hand here, maybe. Over on the right side of it.
Right here, sir. All right. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Kenneth Kane. Judge, this is 23 CF 753. Sign right there for me, please. Right here for me, please. Do you have any questions?
What's today's date?
October 28th.
October 29th?
28th.
28th, okay.
If you need to move it, move it. Okay. Today, the year is 2024.
What's it? Oh, 2024, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just put the year in there for me.
Okay.
If I may approach.
Mr. Kane, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for is course true, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you want to enter a no contest plea in 23 CF 753 to possession of a controlled substance, meth, correct? Nope, sorry. A lesser included offense of possession of paraphernalia, a misdemeanor, correct?
Yes.
Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Did you?
Sign that form.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
What's that now?
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
Yes.
Has anybody forced or threatened you to enter this plea?
No.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Sentence you to 30 days county jail, credit for time served since August 20th, 24. $100 cost of prosecution, $515 court costs, $150 PD fee. All goes to collections. Thank you. Adjudicated guilty.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
So they'll go process you out later today.
Later today, okay,
sir.
gotcha. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That was Tim, right?
Good luck.
Thank you so
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ms. Terry Campbell, right over here, Terry. Terry, right over here. On behalf of Ms. Terry Campbell, Judge, this is 24 CF 1621, 24 CF 2096. Judge, we are going to request a continuance on this case.
December 30th. Thank you.
Actually, I think I've got,
Pretrial service, they say, pretrial.
12:30.
Unfortunately, that's not today.
But they said it 28 today. Pre-trial, they said that. That's why I came. That's what they told me.
You're here for a pretrial conference, Ms. Campbell.
Okay.
What would you like?
Please.
Judge, she's just wanting to address the court.
Okay.
What would you like to say?
Judge, Your Honor, behalf of me, I would like to know if there's any way I can get out, gonna send to one today, because my mom is in nurse home, right? And she's sick, and my grandson is there at home by himself. He don't have nobody there, and I need to go home so I can straighten stuff out till I go to court. And they told me I had pretrial today, service today, at 12 o'clock today. They had on my paperwork and everything at the jailhouse to see the lady. So I can get out, so I can take care of my business and not come to court. I got a job too. See, that's what I'm saying. If it's okay with you, please. And I will make sure I come to court, please. He's 30 years old, he's autistic, I need to be there with him. Make sure everything is all right. And my mom's in nurse home, I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't heard from nobody since I've been in jail. Please, Your Honor, I'm begging, please get out today until I can go back to court, please.
Otherwise, we can set her for this Thursday for a bond hearing,
Please,
Judge.
please.
Who's the prosecutor on this?
It's me, Your Honor.
Please,
What's
I
her
need to go
bond?
home with
What's
my
her current
grandson.
bond?
He's autistic.
She has 2 cases. She has a newer case where she's charged with 7 counts of burglary of unoccupied
Not seven.
conveyance.
No, not 7, no.
Well, sorry, 6 counts and then possession of controlled substance. That's the second case she has, 2096.
Please, Your Honor, I promise.
While she was out on bond, she committed more burglaries. That's,
Wasn't on bond. I wasn't on bond.
She got a prior record.
yes, Your Honor, I gave the score sheet. She scores a minimum of 120 months DOC. And the prior record alone
I'm gonna
is
leave the,
108 points.
I'm gonna leave the bond the way it
Yeah.
is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They say you're gonna do what?
He's not gonna let you out, okay? He's not changing your bonds at all.
I'm
You
talking.
got a minimum mandatory, you got some kind of big sentence. Look,
Could I ask you one more thing? Can you suspend the sentence, please? Please, I'm
He's not
talking to
able
him.
he's not able to negotiate with you.
I
We,
can't talk to him?
we,
Please.
are not ready to take a plea. You need to talk to your attorney and he can talk to the state, see if y'all can work something out. But, I just can't let you out on bond with, you've got six cases out on, well, you're out on bond. Apparently you picked up
I
6
wasn't on
cases.
bond. I wasn't on bond when I got out. I wasn't on bond. I wasn't never in jail.
You're
I wasn't
looking
on
at
bond.
120 months in prison
Yes, Your Honor.
if
What?
convicted.
No.
That's a new score sheet that just came out.
So you got a
No.
bad record, I guess. You must
No,
have a
it's wrong.
really bad
That's
record.
wrong. That's wrong. That's
100
wrong.
points, only the prior record.
100 points on just your prior record. So whatever you're doing, you're picking up a lot of crimes. And I just can't, normally I probably would if this was you or a first offender or whatever. But if you're looking at that kind of prison time, you must be doing a lot of criminal activity, perhaps. I don't know if you are or not.
No,
I
I'm not.
hadn't heard anything, but
No, I'm not. I'm not doing
just at
nothing.
this point, December 30th, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
December 3rd, that's when I come back to court?
That's your next court date, yes, ma'am.
December
What about, no, Thursday?
What
30th.
about Thursday? He's already denied the bond for right now. If we have anything
No,
more,
he
we
did
can
not
bring.
say that.
Except for
For
plea day.
arraignment, right?
Oh, she's set for
Except
plea
for
day.
arraignment?
Plea day.
This Thursday, yes.
All right, we'll see you Thursday for
Thursday
arraignment.
afternoon? All right.
Thursday for arraignment, thank you.
The plea day?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Will I be able to go get out on bond, please? Because I don't have a
I
bond
don't
at
know
all.
about that.
I'm talking to him.
because
Can I
you-
please talk to him, please?
I'm talking to you.
Yes, sir.
I'm leaving the bond the way it is, thank you.
What, Thursday too?
Thursday's an arraignment where you're being told what your new charges are apparently, and you can plead guilty or not guilty.
So I won't be getting no pre-trial service when they said I had.
You-
But the
you-
jailhouse.
You had what's called a pretrial conference today.
Mm-hmm.
That means we setting you for trial or continuance. And it's not a bond hearing, but I went ahead and considered letting you out on bond because you sounded like you had some good arguments. But the state says you got 10 years worth of prison time you're looking at. So that looks like you've got a real bad criminal record, which I don't know what it is yet or not, but if you pick up that many points, you must have an extensive criminal, what is your criminal record?
I did time for something I had did before, but I didn't do this time. I didn't do that at all.
Well, that's what a trial is for.
I am going on trial, I'm just saying I didn't do it. I never violate probation, no, never violate probation or nothing like that. I always did my time probation.
She has 13 misdemeanor paraphernalia, 5 petty theft, 9 felony petty theft, 11 burglary of unoccupied conveyance, 10 trespass in a structure, 2 dealing in stolen property, attempted dealing in stolen property, pawnbroker transaction fraud, introduction of contraband into detention facility. Then she has criminal mischief, burglary of unoccupied dwelling, 1, 2 burglary of structure while armed with firearm, 4 grand theft, 1 possession of controlled substance, 3 count resisting officer without violence.
It's a very impressive resume, so I'm going to leave the bond the way it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Cantrell coming out.
I'll see you again Thursday,
Thursday is your next court date. Yes, ma'am.
this Thursday.
It's Thursday. Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, Tim gives on behalf of Ms. Naomi Cantrell, 24 CF 525. Judge, well, I'm going to ask to set her for Monday, docket day for plea or continue. I think we get it wrapped up by then.
November 4th,
November 4th.
November 4th, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That way we can get it wrapped up.
Carroll.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. Christopher Carroll. Judge, this is 24 CF 1923. Judge, I'd also like to leave him on a plea or continue on docket day, so to go over some last.
November 4th, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Common.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Timothy Comey, 24 CF 1657. Believe we have an agreement, but I'm missing my written plea agreement, so we can go over that.
Yes, sir.
It's my case, but I haven't reviewed it, so I don't know.
You took off, this was yours where you took off the point.
Was he pleading to some felonies?
Yes, Judge.
Want to bring him back Thursday?
Told me it was 24 months probation.
It's a probation deal that would get him out today, Judge, so I'm happy to pass him until later this afternoon
All
if we
right.
need to review it.
Okay.
Is that all right? We'll bring it back later today, still, this
Yeah.
afternoon, to get it resolved.
Okay.
She's having to review it because
Well, what are y'all doing?
Judge, it was given to me, and I didn't catch something on it, so, Ms. Leone, it is her case, and it was my mistake. I didn't understand that it was her case, so she's gotta verify my work, and it looks like there's a mistake I made.
No, it's not. Why that showed up? Here, Mr. Gibbs?
Yes, ma'am. All right, here we go.
Sorry, Judge.
It's she writes in Italian half the time, so it's,
Right.
she doesn't realize she's doing it. She just, some of these plea forms, they got that.
Time served on the misdemeanor. And then, so if that's what you'd like to do, go ahead and sign right there for me. Today's date, October 28th.
So I'm good when you come back.
So you don't need to come back. He's going to go ahead and take care of it right
All right,
now. Included, no objection, Judge.
Mr. Kami, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for is course of truth, so help you God. Okay. This is 24 CF 1657, State of Florida versus Timothy Kami. Mr. Kami, you want to enter a plea of no contest to possession of firearm during a felony, a second-degree felony, illegal use of a personal ID information, a third-degree felony, illegal use of personal ID, a third-degree felony, fleeing, attempting to elude, a third-degree felony, and petty theft, a misdemeanor. So you want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
I did.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs did for you on your case?
Yes.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. On counts 1 through 4, you are adjudged guilty, sentenced to 2 years probation, concurrent on each count, $100 cost of prosecution, $415 court costs, $150 PD fee, 50 hours community service work, take the anti-theft class, waive cost of supervision. On count 5, you're sentenced to time served in a county jail.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay?
You'll meet probation. Yeah. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Lana Creech. Judge, this is 24 CF 1619. We're asking for a continuance.
Objection.
And December 30th.
No probation.
Let me make sure. All right, we may have had a probation deal, Judge.
The offer, Tim?
Yeah, what was your?
18 months probation for Lana Creech. Yes.
I'll write that up, Judge, if we can bring her back later this afternoon.
Okay.
So I'll write that up so we can do that today.
We're gonna hold on to Creech. Davis?
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Donald Davis. This is 24 CF 1400, 24 CF 2059. Judge, I regret not having written pleas for some of my inmates. Things had come up before I was able to go talk to inmates. He also has a plea that he wants to take if we could bring him back this afternoon.
All right. Okay.
They'll do it later this afternoon. Yeah, they're just going to hold on to you until, so we can do that.
Hold on to Davis, too. Okaloosa.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. Andrew De La Rosa. Judge, this is 24 CF 1700. Judge, we'll ask for, we'll ask for a continuance on this one as well, so we can have one final discussion before getting this one ready to resolve.
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge. As soon as I can. Yeah, you're good for right now.
Okaloosa.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. Richard Del Pozo. Judge, this is 24 CF 1670. Here for me, please. And then today's date. Yes, sir. Thank you. If I may approach, Judge.
All right, this is 24 CF 1670 State versus Richard Del Pozo. Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is true, so help you God. You want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of burglary of a structure causing $1,000 damage. A first-degree felony, is that correct, Mr. Gibbs?
He's pleading to an attempt, Your Honor, so it becomes a second-degree felony.
Attempt, okay.
Yeah. That way it's not a first degree or a PBL.
Oh, I got you. What about, and count? Oh, I got,
Count two is
okay, I see
still a
what,
charge,
I see
Judge,
what you're
yes.
doing. You kind of got Rivers virus. What you did was you put count one, you put it below count three so that it confuses the old judge. 111 years old, can't see, lost all my hair. So, okay, so what we got here is
Sorry, Judge.
count one. You want to plead to a lesser included offense, attempted burglary of a structure causing $1,000, a second degree felony. And grand theft, a third degree felony. So you want to enter no contest plea to those charges, correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing form?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Gibbs done for you on your case? Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Count one. On both counts, you're sentenced to 3 years, Department of Corrections suspended, conditioned upon successful completion of 2 years drug offender probation, followed by 1 year of standard probation. Have a substance abuse and evaluation and treatment, or ECLC program. Make restitution. Court reserves jurisdiction on restitution for 180 days. No contact with Ian Oliver Christensen. No trespass at 892 West James Lee Boulevard, Crestview, Florida. No trespass at Ian Christensen's residence. Take the anti-theft class. Waive cost of supervision. It's concurrent for each count. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, that's it.
If they never call a hearing for it, information, and then you'll get your fingerprints.
Next.
Demons? Come on out. You face the judge, sir.
Steve, how many more we got back there?
Number
Judge, I'm sorry, go ahead.
out of 125.
We're on 80 out of 125.
And, Your Honor, yeah. Thereabouts. I'm almost. Judge, on Mr. Dimmon's case, we just got a new offer from the state that I'd like to review with him. I think he wants to accept that today. If I could bring him back again later this afternoon to get
All
that
right.
written.
Okay.
That way, because we just said, I'll write it down. They'll bring you back today, though.
Douglas.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Joshua Douglas. This is 24 CF 1266, 24 CF 1678. Judge, I'd like to leave him for a plea or continue on docket day 11-4.
All right, November 4th. Thank you.
Elroy Dern.
Okay, good. He needs to call me. Come see you before Monday. Your Honor, I believe we had already submitted motions to continue on Mr. Durham's case. I was not aware that he was currently in jail. But otherwise, I believe the court's already continued these cases, and he's got arraignment on a new case coming up, I guess, next month.
All right, thank you.
Those cases.
Lonza Dern.
Judge, this is Mr. Jelante Durham, 23 CF 591. We'll ask for one final continuance.
State objects, Your Honor. State is ready for trial. It's an older case. I would ask for the second week based on witnesses' availability.
What you got to do? Discovery?
The only thing that we haven't done, Judge, are depositions of the alleged victims, and that's kind of my fault because I kept mixing up the addresses that we had. But if they're going to be here for trial, we can go to trial.
November 4th.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you before then.
Fleming.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. John Fleming. Judge, this is 22 CF 2205, 23 CF 1634, and 23 CF 1813. Judge, I believe on 23 CF 1634, we're ready for trial. The other two we can leave to track.
Looks like, well, we got the same, is it a VOP evidentiary?
So
And-
he does have a VOP case in that 2022 case, Judge. 23 CF 1634 is a battery, a domestic violence battery by strangulation and false imprisonment charge against alleged victim Brandy Matthews. And then 23 CF 1813 is a CAC case alleging child neglect.
Judge, the state would prefer to go forward on the VOP evidentiary matter before we go to a jury trial in the 23 CF case.
Well, how long is this trial going to take?
This
One-day
one could
trial?
honestly be a pick and go, to be honest.
One-day trial? I'd just rather hear it all at once. So we'll just set it for November 4th.
Thank you, Judge. That way we can. Next Monday. Okay. Next Monday. And then the other two. Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ms. Ashley Gainey, Judge, this is 24 CF 206. Judge, I'd like to go ahead and leave her set for this Thursday. We're going to try for a bond motion hearing. I just need to get that filed.
All right,
That way we can try to get that filed.
November 4th.
But we'll come back Thursday.
Gormley or Green?
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ms. Shelby Green, Judge, this is 24 CF 1790. I believe she also already has another case, 23 CF 1790, that's being worked out, I think, in mental health court. We're asking for a continuance on this case while we wait for sentencing on the mental health court.
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge.
Give us a note on the transport that Gormley is in another institution.
That is correct. We were hoping he would be transported today because we got the order, but if he was not, then I understand.
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge.
Grimes?
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Ms. Nikki Grimes, Judge, this is 24 CF 1776.
And they're not expecting her to make it.
Well,
And, get me out on bond
let's see if we can do a signature or something like that in ROR.
today.
Not today, but Thursday. Judge, I'd like to leave her on Thursday morning as well for a bond hearing.
All right, November 4th,
For everything?
That we can ask for. Thank you, Judge.
October 31st.
We can.
So 3 days from now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah. I'll see you then. I'll try to see you Wednesday, too. I'll try to see you Wednesday, too.
Okay.
Your Honor, Tim Gibbs on behalf of Mr. Adam Truman, Judge, this is 22 CF 2818. Judge, we do have an offer from the state that he does want to accept. He's got a program that he's graduating from soon that he wants to complete before accepting that DOC plea, so I'd like to leave him set for sometime next month When are you supposed to graduate on that again?
December 4th.
December 4th? Can we do like December 5th?
Mr. Gray, I would ask that he pleads, and then I will allow sentencing to
works
report to DOC after that.
That
If you
works
can
too.
come back next Monday for docket day, for plea.
Well, plea docket day.
Plea docket day, sentence.
That works.
Yeah.
Does that work? Perfect. Love when we work it out. All right. So, yeah, I'll see, I'll get all the details, and I'll see you before Monday. Thank you, Judge. Thanks, Ms. Leon.
Other than the ones that we passed, that's all I've got for you, Mr. Gibbs.
All right. That's right. Mr. Washington was already continued, correct? Okay.
What are we doing with Carr?
I'm sorry, who? So Ms. Belcar, I've tried to get her transported. I didn't get the motion in as quickly as I thought because it slipped my mind, unfortunately. She's currently incarcerated in Miami, in the jail down there. I'd asked to leave her for a miscellaneous date next month.
What
Just trying to
about
get her transported up.
December 5th?
December 5th is, that would work too. We were hoping to get her transported, but she should be finished down there.
Case down south. Yeah.
All right, who we got next?
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Tyler O'Quain. He's before the court on 21 CF 1972, 22 CF 523. We have been unable to reach any agreements in these matters. It's my understanding that the state is revoking their offer, and Ms. Basso was going to pick which case she wanted to try first.
That's correct, and the state will be ready for trial on 21 CF 1972.
It's my understanding from Ms. Basso that we need to have a Williams rule hearing prior to the trial.
Well, set it for December 30th.
December 30th.
If you can get it resolved, and we got to have that Williams Rule hearing sometime in November or December. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Expecting to go. Your Honor, this is Kenneth Osborne. He's before the court on 16 CF 1542. Your Honor, we're going to request a continuance in this matter.
December 30th.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
He's here.
Read that carefully.
And you want to handle that when we bring your other?
Whenever, yes, perfect.
Your Honor, this is Bradley Pittman. He's before the court on 24 CF 1224. We have made a counteroffer to the state. She has asked us to continue it while she considers it.
Okay, December 30th, we'll move it up if he can get it resolved.
Yes, sir.
Robin? Robin's in here? Well, I ran out of yours, but I have
That's okay.
formally right here if you're ready on it.
There's one I
getting that
forgot to
reviewed real quick,
mention, Your Honor.
but we should be ready.
He's in custody, but he's not here, and that would be Kenshawn Scott, 23 CF 936. We did our first round of depositions this week, and
December 30th.
thank you. Okay.
You said you had Gormley.
Yeah, this is Mr.
Okay. Well, yeah, if we got, we can go over Gormley.
I'm not going, I just have one at 10.
I'm covering for the lady from, prosecutor from Escambia.
Hey, what you got? And we'll address that.
Mr. Gibbs, I just don't have the score. Oh, you have?
I have one, yeah. He actually doesn't score with these.
And this is
But
what she sent to you?
this is the written plea that she sent.
I signed it.
So this was the written plea that Ms. Hutchins sent. Again, for all those case numbers, it just essentially it calls for the 54 months concurrent with all those other case numbers that you already got. So the idea is that you're already supposed to.
Okay, as long as I have credit.
You get credit.
Get credit for the first level, which is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But does that say that?
it doesn't say credit from set 12-7, but
It's on my game time that I've got from.
All right, I want to be in time to go trick or treating with my grandkids. What are y'all doing?
absolutely. So it's 529 is what the credit is right now. You're not entitled to credit from a hold. So just for the court's awareness, the only holdup right now, he does have an offer from Ms. Hutchins at the State Attorney's Office to do 54 months concurrent with several Escambia cases. That's been drafted here in the written plea that she submitted, as well as Santa Rosa cases. Mostly, his only concern is that he wants to make sure his credit begins from December 7th of 23, because that's when the hold for him for this county was placed while he was being bounced around between Santa Rosa, Escambia, and DOC to handle those cases. The only holdup that he has right now to accept this plea, Judge, is ensuring that he gets credit beginning 12/7/2024. I don't know if the state can make any agreements or stipulations to that, since it's not your case.
No, Your Honor, I was instructed not to stipulate to that, but that we are agreeable to any credit that is entitled to legally, whatever DOC calculates for him.
So that's the only holdup as it stands.
Are you
Otherwise,
going to
in
bring
this
him
portion,
back on Thursday? Or
he's currently in DOC. We had to get him transported specially from Milton today. So that's. So that's the only holdup that we have, Judge, is I believe he's gotten that credit before. I don't know if the court's willing to grant him that credit. That's the only request that we would have, is making sure that credit begins December 20.
I'm not making sure of anything. I'll
sorry?
grant him all credit he's entitled to, certainly, but I'm not going to make sure that someone else does something they have some objection to. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about at this point regarding, there's always those credit for time served issues that keep coming up with inmates that get down there and they're, so why don't we just bring him back on Thursday so you can figure it out?
Yeah. So unfortunately, what it sounds like, because he can't order that without the state agreeing. And the state hasn't agreed to that. You're entitled to all of this credit. Certainly this credit.
December 30th and bring him up sooner if you can get it worked out. Because I want to make sure he gets full credit, but I can't just randomly assign some date.
Right. That's the date that he started being in custody for any of this.
Y'all check it
Your
out.
Honor, might I say something?
I'm gonna award you the maximum amount of credit that you're entitled to.
Well, I'm just confused by it, Your Honor, because Santa Rosa, I was incarcerated, I was arrested.
If you're
actually-
confused, you don't need to be confused. They need to unconfuse you.
No, I just am trying to clarify this for my own behalf. In Santa Rosa County, I had a global deal. In Santa Rosa, I was actually arrested 2 months later than I was in Okaloosa County, but the hold was placed on me in Santa Rosa, in Okaloosa when I was arrested in Escambia County. When the global deal was offered to me, I received credit from December 7th of 2023, and that's how the 54 months was calculated. So all I'm trying to understand is if I accept this deal, is my release date from prison, my release date tentatively at 85% is October 3rd, 2027 at 85%. I've since got my GED since I've been in, my high school diploma since I've been incarcerated. I've been busting my butt to try to make up for anything that's happened to me.
That's your current
here.
release date. 5/26/28.
That's
That's, yeah,
85%.
that's not counting any other gain time. Because gain time is always a bonus. You're not entitled to gain time. Gain time is always calculated by DOC.
So if I don't sign today, I have to come back the 3rd. Basically, are they gonna hold me in Okaloosa County
Thing
Jail? till
is,
then?
I don't know what gain time you're entitled to. The Department of Corrections and the jail figures that out. All I can do is order you whatever you're legally entitled to. I'm happy to give it to you. I'm happy to give you as much gain time as you're entitled to.
I
But I
guess
don't
it-
know what, you're telling me certain
His-
dates. I don't know what
His
those,
concern really is that the amount of credit that he would receive with that legally entitled credit is about 6 months shy of the amount of time that he's actually been incarcerated on all of these cases across all 3 counties.
check it out. You're his attorney.
That's what I've tried to explain to him, Judge, is that
I don't represent him. I can't check
But
these
if they
numbers
hold me
out.
here until December, Your Honor, that's gonna
They're
essentially,
not gonna
then
hold- they're
I,
not going to hold you here. They're actually taking you back to the DOC later today. Whatever we do today, they're taking you back to DOC. That's what the transport order says. So if you sign this today, you'll still be in DOC, and this case will be added to it. Don't sign this today, you're still in DOC with these cases.
I don't know what your gain time is. All I can say is whatever you're legally entitled to, that's what I order.
They agree, that state attorney, or for whatever reason, they
it's the
agreed to
same
do
state
that.
attorney.
I can't answer why she did or didn't agree to do the credit or not. I can't.
He's going to be, regardless of the gain time, he's going to be in prison after December 30th, correct?
Correct.
Then bring him back December 30th and see if you can get it figured out,
Thank you, Judge.
okay? Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Clarence Robbins. He's before the court. Your Honor, we are waiting on an evaluation from Dr. Zeman. We did do depositions the other day. And so at this point, we're just waiting on the results from Dr. Zeman. And if we can get this.
December 30th?
Yes, if we can get it resolved earlier, then we will bring him back earlier.
Okay.
I did. She's not willing to until Dr. Zeman's thing comes back. So as soon as we get it, I'll be back out to see you.
South.
Your Honor, this is Richard South. He's before the court on 23 CF 1796. I had filed a motion for additional discovery. I've spoken with the state. They are trying to get that discovery together. So, but at this point, we're going to have to request a continuance till December 30th.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, December 30th, thank you.
Stallworth.
Your Honor, this is Johnny Stallworth, 24 CF 1718. I received a request for a Nelson hearing today. He's wanting his discovery. There's your discovery on that case. He alleged 6, 7, 8 rounds.
Look at that discovery, and if you feel like you still have an issue with Ms. Rivers, we'll bring you back for a Nelson hearing set November 7th. Okay? Thank you. Look at
Yes,
that.
sir.
Look at that. See what you got. Okay?
sir.
Thank you.
Stewart.
Your Honor, this is Tristan Stewart. He's before the court on 23 CF 2784, 2785, 2786. We are requesting a continuance at this time.
No objection.
December 30th, thank you.
Taylor.
Your Honor, this is Todd Taylor. He's before the court on 24 CF 576. We have a bond hearing set for October 31st.
All right, see you in a couple of days.
True Love.
Your Honor, this, Your Honor, this is Trayton Truelove. He's before the court on 24 CF 60. We're requesting a continuance to 12:30.
December 30th, thank you.
Young.
Your Honor, this is Terry Young. He's before the court on 21 CF 2775. And speaking with the state, we are close to reaching an agreement. But at this time, the state can't officially, so we're just going to ask for continuance to 12:30.
All right, move it up if you get it resolved.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Believe that.
That's all I got.
All I have.
Mr. Hall. Your attorney, please, Judge, please, sir.
Judge, this is going to be a negotiated plea. I had to amend the original plea document that I went over with him last night to add one of the cases that was missing off of it, and that's what I
All
did.
right.
Get your signature right there. Did you look at the
I can't write it.
original one that I gave you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have any questions about it?
No, sir.
Okay. You mind if I date it for you?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hall, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear that your other right hand.
Case, and I haven't reviewed
Oh,
it, so
You swear the testimony you give for us court's true, so help you God? Thank you.
the victim pregnant is a second-degree felony. It's not first, so this is also wrong. It's 15.
Yeah.
So, did I email you that I agreed to that? Is that the offer on the
No,
file?
I think that, Judge, we may have an issue, we may have to straighten it out. Yeah. 2 years community control, followed by 2 years probation.
What's the other 23? Is that a VOP
Yeah.
case? Do you wanted me to change here 15 years?
Yeah, that's. Sir, on the maximum sentence on the aggravated battery with a pregnant person, that's actually 15 years and a $10,000 fine. No, you're still getting the same deal, okay? But if you messed up your probation, you'd be facing as much as 15.
Can I say it again?
Yeah.
For the domestic violence?
Since this is a domestic violence case, apparently y'all live together at some point as a family, or you're married, or you're related by blood? Okay. Then you're gonna have to do domestic violence intervention program. Sometimes it's called BIP, or batterers intervention program. It's a 6 months group therapy kind of thing that you'll have to go to. You'll go once a week, okay? All right.
Do I still get out and go
Yeah.
to the program?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
they-
it's not inpatient.
Are they
It's-
gonna give me papers like the?
Yeah, probation's gonna tell you everything that you have to do, okay? It's not inpatient, it's something that you report here, probably down at Bridgeway. Report once a week.
At least that's what I tell my. Believe me, they
The first time it'll be an evaluation, and then it'll be instructions, and then we'll start actually planning therapy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hall, you want to enter a no contest plea in 23-21-17 to tampering with electronic monitoring device, to VOP. You want to admit that you violated probation. And in 24 CF 1803, you want to enter a no contest plea to
No, it's an adult case.
aggravated battery of pregnant person, second-degree felony, and resisting arrest without violence, a first-degree misdemeanor, correct?
Presented you on it in here before.
That's what you
Not
want
if
to
you're
do?
being treated as an adult. What, apparently, he was originally juvenile, waived up to adult, prosecuted as an adult, and so I needed to explain to him that it stays an adult case and it doesn't go.
But he's admitting you want to, it's a violation of probation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And also a plea to a second-degree felony, aggravated battery of pregnant person, and misdemeanor, resisting arrest without violence. So you want to plead to those charges too?
You want to plead to the new case as well for the 2 years community control and 2 years probation?
You do? You sure you understand what's going on here?
Yes, sir. No.
Okay.
I can pass it out.
I'm getting ready to give you 2 years community control followed by 2 years probation. You understand that? And are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea and admission of violation of probation?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here? Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court finds the admission of violation of probation and no contest plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. On the misdemeanor, you are sentenced to, judge guilty, sentenced to time served in the county jail. On the felonies, you're judged guilty, sentenced to 2 years community control, followed by 2 years probation, concurrent on each case, standard court cost, cost of prosecution, $50 PD app fee, $100 PD fee. All these costs and fees go to a judgment and adjudication on both, all counts. So, community control and 2 years probation, okay? Do I have a score sheet on this?
Yes, sir. He should. Mr. Williams.
I thought I handed it to you, Judge, with it. Let me check, maybe I didn't.
I don't see it.
I saw him when you were.
Either.
I can print another set, Your Honor. Oh, I guess 24-1803.
Your Honor, we're revoking the old probation.
New terms.
Yeah, revoke the old probation, put the new term of probation, okay?
Supervision fees waived.
Yeah.
So everyone's on them too? Thank God.
Yeah, Shakimo. Just write the date. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, now look, do this probation and stuff and stay out of trouble, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you don't need to be in jail or prison, and this is a chance for you to be on probation and not get in trouble, okay?
Am I allowed to speak, sir?
Yeah.
I talked to my people and stuff like that. I told them I was like, you know, I wanted to stay out of trouble. CC, I understand that's like probably my last warning. I've been on probation before, and I know like I violated it and stuff like that. But I'm finna get out, get me a job. I got people from offering me a job. They basically give me a job deal right now.
All right, well, you should get out of jail today unless there's some hold on you. So I'm telling you, you know, you're going to get out of jail. You're going to be on probation. You got great probation officers that will work with you. And get you a job and you don't need to be you don't want to be sitting in jail. I mean, you know, you got kind of a bad record here. So your attorney really, I think, did a good job representing you. But, you know, you don't need to be heading down this road, okay? So just get a job and just enjoy life and don't be in jail, okay? All right, thank you.
Good luck to you, okay?
And Your Honor, was that adjudicated or withheld?
What was the agreement?
He was adjudicated.
Adjudicated? I think he's been adjudicated before.
I sent you an email on this. This is a fellow that was in Florida State Hospital.
Oh, Mr. Hawkins? Well, I think there's significant restitution.
Do a Hawkins has psychiatric history. See the restitution unless he hits the lot.
Which reminds me.
Can we pass him to 11-4?
All right, Mr. Hawkins, we're going to bring you back next week, okay? She's got to talk to some people first, okay? Okay.
All right, what about, you want to go with November 4th?
That's fine with me, Judge. Okay, Judge, on Mr. Henderson's case, I had a possible conflict I had to look into. I've resolved that question. I am going to ask to continue the case.
Mr. Gibbs? Do you want to take over Mr. Williams' caseload?
No, thank you.
All right, then, keep it down. All right, sorry, for Mr. Gibbs interrupting your presentation, Mr. Williams. Go ahead.
Judge, at any rate, Mr. Henderson, if I can ask to continue that, please.
December 30th.
Thank you, Judge. Okay.
I can't change my mind about the conflict.
Yeah, if you feel like there's a conflict, you tell me you think that there's a conflict, and I'll talk with Charlie about it and see if we can withdraw on one or the other of you. All right, so you've changed your mind about that? Okay. All right, Judge, we'll evaluate the conflict situation. All right, sir. Okay. I'm doing okay. Judge, I talked with Mr. Horn. I'm going to be bringing a bond motion on his behalf. I'm going to ask to continue the case. We're looking into possibly a motion on it.
How much time you need on that motion?
I've got to talk with
November
another attorney in
7th?
my office is kind of the expert on it. I'm going to talk with him again. It has to do with how the flock device is used, which is what resulted in his stop.
November
So-
7th,
Um,
December 5th,
yeah, Judge, if you want to go ahead and set it for then.
December 5th.
All right.
If you get it resolved, we can move it up.
Thank you, Judge. All right, so we've got a hard date on that motion, okay?
What is it? December what?
December 5th. Judge, Mr. Hurst has 2 cases. We have him set for an arraignment on his later case for Thursday, and had him set for a bond hearing on that date. I spoke with the prosecutor about it. She's going to agree to a $20,000 bond. I've talked with his family, and they believe they can make that bond. So I also checked, they have filed the information in the second case. So with the court's permission, I ask the court to make that modification to the bond and based on the stipulation, and go ahead and arraign him, enter a plea of not guilty, trial by jury in 15 days for pre-arraignment motions on the 24/22/50, and that way he won't come back on Thursday. We just have it all done.
All right, well, what's he charged with on the 24?
On the one that he's for you on arraignment, it's possession of controlled substances. It's an F3.
All right, I'll appoint public defender and set him for a pretrial on December 30th on that.
Yes, sir.
Has he got a bond set on that?
I believe he does, Judge. It was 3,500 cash or professional.
All right, so this bond is, this is now on 24 CF 1924, you got a bond agreement of 20,000 cash professional?
That's correct, Judge, and for the court to split that however it wants, I think that we've got a total of, well, we've got 1 felony, and the other 2 are misdemeanors, so what I'd suggest.
What I'll do is I'll make it, 20,000 cash professional on the missile into a dwelling, and $1,000 signature bond on the other 2 each.
All right, Judge.
And I had asked for GPS monitor to be applied before release.
All right, at $1 a day. The signature bonds, you don't have to put up any money, you just sign yourself out.
Well, except for the 20,000, you're gonna have to get a bondsman on that.
Okay?
So, Judge, with that, the case is actually relatively new. We've gotten pretty far with it, but I need more time. In fact, it was in the court for arraignments, I want to say, back on September 26th.
Well, December 30th, and
Yes, sir.
see if you can get it resolved so we can get his case over with.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Send me an order unless they'll let him out on the minutes.
Judge, usually they do. I don't think we'll have a
All right.
problem. All right, Judge, I'm just skipping down to Mr. Hutchinson on my list. All right, you're Rodney?
Yes, sir.
Rodney, when I checked yesterday, you were still showing as in federal custody.
They brought me today.
They did? Okay. Or do you still have a pending federal case, or is that resolved now?
It's resolved.
All right. So they should keep you there. Judge, if you can pass him until the 4th, I'll go out and talk with him. Thus far, I've not been able to talk with him because he's been in federal custody, and they don't let us talk to him.
Did you enter some type of plea in federal court?
Yes, sir. I'm sentenced in federal.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll set a date of December 30th, but if you talk to him and you can figure out what's going on, you work out some kind of concurrent deal or whatever the situation is, I don't know.
That's what I'm hoping for, to get it, so I can get my fed time.
I got you.
I'll
Get
talk
credit.
to her.
How much time did you get for the Fed, from the Fed?
92 months.
92 months? Okay.
I
Well,
don't think it counts as long as I'm here.
well, I understand that. That's why I want them to figure it out, and then we can move you up from December 30th if you get it resolved, okay?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure we can, yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you.
I have no clue. They just came and got me this morning. Right. They came to see me, in Santa Rosa.
Judge, for our purposes here today, I've talked with Mr. Hutto. He wants me to look into a motion to suppress.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to continue the case. Based on our discussion, I should be able to resolve whether or not I've got grounds, especially with that murder case not being set anymore. I should be able to do it by the end of this trial docket.
Well, what we'll do is set him for December 30th, but move it up if you want to get it set up to here.
Yes, sir. So it's 12:30, okay? And I'll get the two motion, the bond hearing will go out before the other one does.
All right.
Judge, I talked with Ms. Igus, and we're going to enter a straight-up plea before the court.
Okay.
And prosecutor, do you want to sign? Cody didn't used to if they were straight-up pleas because he wasn't agreeing to it.
So it's,
We can do it however you want to do it on
And Ms. Igus, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court is the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Yeah.
This is 23 CF 1919, State versus Susan May Igus.
I'll sign it. I mean, documents what's happening here today.
Okay.
All right, do you want to enter a no contest plea to the charge of unlicensed practice of health care, third-degree felony, using false ID for workers' comp, third-degree felony, illegal use of personal ID information, a third-degree felony, organized fraud, less than $20,000, a third-degree felony, uttering a forged instrument, a third-degree felony, and false information to a law enforcement officer, first-degree misdemeanor. You want to enter a no contest plea to those charges, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand there's no agreement with the state and defense as to a sentence?
Yes, sir.
And have you discussed with your attorney the guideline sentence the court can impose upon you?
Yes, sir.
And are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
No, sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case?
Yes, sir.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. What is the state, what type of sentence is the state looking for?
Judge, Ms. Igus scores presumptive DOC sentence. And the state is asking to impose Department of Corrections due to her record. I would ask to set off this sentencing, actually, because there is a victim in the matter I'd like to speak with, and present a sentencing letter to Your Honor.
Judge, we had her evaluated, and we had her evaluated just sort of general, and did get some perhaps mitigation information as part of that evaluation. I don't know, looking at it, whether or not that's been shared with the state as yet, so.
I really would like to, I mean, of course, the victim has a right to.
Yes, sir. So I'm good with passing it, Judge.
We'll set it for December 5th,
That's fine, Judge.
okay?
Okay.
You said just December?
5th, yeah. And it's a miscellaneous day. Do we have a score sheet?
Are you printing one? Yes, sir, we're going to print one for you here today.
All right, so ma'am, I will see you on or before the.
All right.
Jackson.
If I find anything wrong with it, I'll deal with it on the floor. All right, Judge, we're pretty close to an agreement here. I need to spend a little more time with him. I need to spend a little more time with Ms. Leone. If we can leave him on for the 4th.
All right, November 4th.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Jernigan.
Hello.
Okay. Do this, you can go ahead and do that today. That's what I talked with you about last night.
This is the best they could do?
Sir, they always can do better, but this is as far as they're willing to go at this point. This was straight from the prosecutor. 10 years that I talked with you about last night.
Mr. Williams, I have victims that may wish to be present if he is going to enter, please. So if you just let me know when we pass him until the 4th.
Will be pursuant to the agreement. But if you still want to have the victims present when he enters the plea. Okay. Judge, let's just pass him till the 4th then. I
All right.
met with him yesterday and went over
November
everything with him,
4th.
but
Okay.
it sounded like maybe I need to do that again.
Thank you.
All righty.
Mr. Williams, just let me know if I need to have my victims present or not, please.
If you need
If
them
it's one
present,
or not.
I will, but I anticipate the answer to that's going to be yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to come out and see you again before next Monday, okay? And I'll talk with the prosecutor some more, but we'll try to get this set up for you for next Monday, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir.
Keeple or Keipel, I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, we went over the offer.
Chewing the gum. Checking his watch. Glasses.
Signature on it. I remember I gave you a copy to look at. Okay. Do you have any questions about it? Yes. it's-
No, I don't.
Okay.
Mr. Cool over there.
Okay.
He's Mr. Clean, you're Mr. Cool. He was out flying a drone the other day.
Ariana, I think this.
I don't know who he's attacking, but I got out of there fast.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
It's okay, it's
It's
confusing.
been a long day.
No, it's just confused, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains why I don't have the signed one in my hand.
Yeah.
All right. No, I used the one that I gave you. All right, well, that explains why it wasn't.
Oh, that's a project.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Keipel, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God? You
Oh,
swear,
I'm sorry, couldn't
you
hear you.
swear the testimony you give for this court's the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is 24 CF 1579, State of Florida versus John Keipel. You
Yes,
want to enter a plea of no contest to the charge of aggravated assault by threat with a deadly weapon, a third-degree felony, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea?
Yes, Your
Has
Honor.
anyone forced you or threatened you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor, no one threatened me.
Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today? Are you under the
Are you
influence of...
taking any drugs?
Oh, no, I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Your Honor.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it. Judge you guilty. Sentence you to 36 months. Department of Corrections suspended. 24 months probation with completion of Project Hope. Random UAs. No contact with victim. $967 court costs. Waived cost of supervision. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kemp.
Charles Wesley Kemp.
Judge, I spoke with Mr. Kemp again yesterday. He gave me the names of 2 potential defense witnesses. Other than that, I'm ready for trial. But I probably need to get those
Well,
names over to the state. and let them
December
decide.
30th, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Kramer.
No, right over here.
Understood.
Right over here.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Judge, she's got a comp hearing scheduled for Thursday.
All right.
So we need to pass it until then.
Okay, Thursday, thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any paperwork for me?
No, ma'am, I sure don't. I sure don't.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Lack.
Judge, this is Mr. Lack. Hang on a second, I'm just looking up some. Judge, he did advise me of a counteroffer that I need to make, or that he wants me to make, and I don't know that I've sent it over to Ms. Turner yet.
Want to bring him back on November 7th?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, let's do that.
See if you can get it worked out?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir, so I'm going to talk with her about that, and we'll get you back on the 7th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis.
Lewis. All right, Judge, I'm going to move to continue the case. There was we've been trying to get DNA on this that we think will exonerate. The state agreed to it several months ago, and FDLE just hadn't done it yet. So I've reached out to the prosecutor again to see if we need to get an order directed to FDLE in order to accomplish it. She doesn't think so, and they're checking into it, but we don't have it back yet, so I'm just going to have to move to continue.
That's fine, Your Honor.
December 30th.
Malone.
Judge, Ms. Malone is a return from Florida State Hospital. This is not one where the state's willing to do time served on it. In reviewing her case and reviewing the report, it doesn't look like anybody evaluated her for sanity at the time of the offense. So we're having that done. That request has already gone out to the doctor. We're just waiting for it to come back. So I'm going to have to ask to continue it.
December 30th.
Thank you, sir. Judge, I talked with Mr. Matyak, and it looks like we're probably going to do a straight-up plea on it. For one of those, though, I need to spend a little more time with him explaining everything, and I need to draft the order to that, or the offer to that effect. So if we can pass it until sometime next week, I'll go out and see him in the interim.
How about November 7th?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, November 7th for sentencing?
Well, it'd be for him to enter a straight-up plea.
And there's well, because I would need to subpoena victims and all that. This is, okay.
Sure.
So
He just hadn't entered it yet.
Okay,
He
that's
had to
fine.
draft it up.
Yes, that's fine.
No, McDonald bonded out. We handled him with the folks that were out.
Mr. McNabb.
Okay. All right. Judge, we have a negotiated plea on this case. It's Mr. McNabb. Just one second.
All right, you're Ladarius McNabb.
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? You swear the testimony you give before this court's the truth, so help you God. Okay. This is 24 CF 2134, State versus Ladarius McNabb.
I had left off the. Were there 2 counts on this?
I'm checking. No,
Separate note that I.
I'm sure.
You're wanting to do the probation? Okay, all right. Never mind, I remember what this is about. All right. Let me get your signature here. Yeah. Now, my recollection is I left you a copy of this for you. In fact, you've got it right in front of me. Did you read that? Did you have any questions about it? Okay. Yeah, this is what I had, was 6.4.
All right, Mr. McNabb, you want to enter a no contest plea to felony petty theft, is that correct? Did you read and sign this plea and sentencing agreement form? Are you aware of the rights you're waiving by entering this plea? You have to answer out loud.
Yes, sir.
And anyone force you or threaten you to enter this plea? Are you under the influence of any medication or drugs that prevent you from knowing what you're doing here today?
Sir.
Are you happy with the work Mr. Williams did for you on your case? The court finds the plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Court accepts it, judge you guilty. Sentence you to 1 year probation, 24 hours community service work, no trespassing at Publix, 2250 South Verdun Boulevard, Crestview. Standard court costs, cost of prosecution, PD fees, all to collections, if not paid by the end of probation. Waive cost of supervision.
All righty, sir. Okay. Yeah, they're going to direct you further.
More,
Judge, the court appointed us on this to post-appeal to represent him in a motion to withdraw plea. The appellate court sent back an opinion and a mandate that he needed conflict-free counsel appointed, and that's what the court appointed us for. We just got that. I'm not prepared to deal with that today. I don't think he needs to be on the pretrial dockets. I think we just need to set him on miscellaneous dates. So if the court will set him out, I need to get transcripts. There's a CD he wants me to listen to. It's probably going to be after the first of the year before we can get it in for a landing.
And a PD is a conflict-free counsel?
Well, he was represented by private counsel. He was represented by Randy Etheridge on it. And so it would come first to us, and then if for some reason I discovered a conflict, then it'd go to RCC.
All right, we'll do that.
He'd ask me about that.
I just don't want to delay for him.
Yes.
You know. Okay, what do you think, December 5th?
Well, just for call to see how things are going, December 5th is fine, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do that.
All righty, so the next time you're going to be in front of the judge is going to be on December 5th.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to get that transcript from the Second
Yes, sir.
Circuit, and you're going to talk with your folks about the CD.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, let's leave this on docket day for now. We may still be able to get this worked out. This is another one where there were two, there was a witness and an alleged victim. Both of them filed statements saying that they were wrong, and it kind of, to shorten it up, jumped to
All
a
right.
conclusion.
Okay.
So I think it ought to be able to get resolved. It's just not resolved yet. We
We
have
ought-
sent copies of that over to
See if you can get
the
it worked out for him. We'll
Yes,
say
sir.
November 4th, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All righty, Judge. And Judge, I believe that's the last of mine. I think Tim maybe still has
Three more,
some.
please. Three more. Ready to go.
All right, we have more, please.
I should have three of them, Judge, all three inmates. Get people resolved now. Okay, thank you. I already got Dennis. All right, Mr. Davis.
Got it.